Hello and welcome back to another episode of my MotoGP 22 career mode, and today we're here for the second round of our MotoGP season at the Argentinian Grand Prix. Now if you haven't seen the last episode, I do recommend you go check that one out first because it included all of our setting up for the MotoGP class, obviously signing for the Gresini team that you can see on screen, and of course our first race at Portimao, so I do recommend you go check that one out. Now of course in the last episode we managed to get pole position and the race win, but I'm hoping that AI will be able to put a bit more of a fight up for the rest of the season because otherwise it will be a little bit boring. I do think maybe I'll handicap myself a little bit at this round and just see how it goes. I think I'm going to stop using Power Mode 3 completely, might even use Power Mode 1 for most of the race and just see how we get on with that one. Because again, Argentina is another weak track, so I think it makes sense to give the AI somewhat of a chance. We can actually do an upgrade as well here, but I think I might just leave that one for now because of how dominant we were sort of in the first weekend. Now, I didn't actually win the race as easily as I expected, but even still, we did have quite a bit of pace over the AI, so I think we'll just leave the upgrade for now. But without any further ado, we'll get straight into the weekend now then. I'll see you down on track. Well, at the end of free practice then, you can see we were top of the session, but I did have to go slightly away from the plan that I did have originally. Now, I was actually going to use Power Mode 1 just for this whole weekend, just to see how it goes, but I was not very competitive with that, shall we say. I was struggling quite a bit. Even Power Mode 2, I wasn't actually on the pace, so I'm actually very surprised. I'm quite happy, to be honest, that AI are this good. Seems like they're actually going to be able to give me a fight at this circuit. Obviously, they tried at Portimao, and to be fair, they weren't far off, but I really had to push on this one. I had to do quite a few different stints. I've tried a few different tyre combinations, so you could tell I was properly trying, and that was a Power Mode 3 lap that put me there in P1 by 0.2 of a second ahead of Marc Marquez. But we should go straight through into qualifying 2 with this being FP2, only one more session for them to improve. So hopefully we'll be in Q2. I'll see you there. So here we are then in qualifying 2, and as you can see, coming through Q1, we've got Brad Binder and Johan Zarco. But I must say it is nice to see Marc Marquez a bit more competitive because we didn't really see anything of him in the previous race whatsoever, like across the whole weekend. So it's nice to see he was actually second and the fastest AI in the free practice session, so he actually might be able to give us a bit of a run for our money here. But in terms of tyres, it's actually going to be a little bit tricky. I tried actually quite a few in practice, just trying to do a decent lap time, and to be honest, they're all pretty viable. They all seem to work quite well, so I'm actually going to go soft, even though, you know, it might die out before the end of the lap. I think we've actually got a chance at making it work, because it actually feels pretty good. It doesn't seem to wear out too much. The tyre wear is quite high, but I think over one lap, the soft should be good enough, so we'll head out onto the track for that, at least with our first run. But I must say, I'm surprised once again, just like in Portimao, about how difficult it's going to be. Obviously, in Portimao it wasn't this hard, but in Argentina it does seem like we're actually struggling quite a bit, which is very surprising, because in the previous seasons we've demolished them here pretty much. I think we struggled in Moto2 qualifying because it was wet, but in the race I think we came from like last, or not last, but quite near the back to quite a high position. But here, the AI actually just genuinely seemed quite fast, and you see that with Bagnaia currently inside of me, so yeah, I'm quite surprised. I've also just seen he's on hard tyres, which is an interesting call for qualifying. So I'm actually still behind Bagnaia here, but he's actually going to give me a good tow, so I think I might stay here and see what he helps us to on this lap. They seem to corner cut turn 4 every lap, which is a little bit strange. I think that could result in a crash in the race. Usually there is some sort of pile-up at this track at that corner, so we'll have to watch out for that one when we actually get to the race. So here we are then on the switchback, trying to get Bagnaia on the run to the line. Can we get past him? What's his time going to be then? A 1 minute 36.2, 3/10 off pole position, which is currently held by Quartararo. Oh, we have kind of bodged that one a little bit on the inside of Bagnaia. So once again, having some difficulties with our fellow Ducati riders in qualifying. But it's a shame because if I could have passed him a little bit earlier in the lap, maybe I could have actually got that pole position. But to be honest, 3/10 off pole with Power Mode 1 is pretty good, so I don't know why they were so fast in practice, because they don't seem this fast now. And Morbidelli's just got a pole position. What has got into Morbidelli? I can't really remember him ever having a good result here, so I don't know why he would have a particularly good stat at Argentina, but fair play to Morbidelli then. So I'm out again for another run. You can see I'm still in the same position, roughly. I'm in 8th place, 3/10 off pole position, so you can see that it is a very, very compact field. I've just noticed that Ralph Fernandez is in this session as well, which is very strange because he replaces Darren Binder, so that's interesting to see that he's got some sort of favourite track stat here at Argentina. Not really, again, I'm not sure. It seems very strange. Some of the riders I don't expect to be doing that well are doing pretty well here, so I don't know, maybe this is like a base thing where it thinks the riders on Yamahas, because obviously the RNF team were on Yamahas in the base game, whether it thinks that like they're supposed to be fast at Argentina or something, but Does seem very strange. Oh, there's a crash. Martin's has gone down at turn 4. I did tell you that they could result in a crash if they keep cutting that corner. It does seem like it has done on this occasion. There we are then through the last couple of corners. We are a couple of attempts underneath the time. What's the time going to be then? 6th place, 1 minute 36.1. The AI have improved again. You can see Quartararo is now down to 35.4. So we're now 6 tenths off pole. So I don't think we're safe in that 6th place. But I really don't think I have much more with Power Mode 1. I've got to say I'm doing a lot better than I was in free practice. But I was saving my mediums for this. In fact, actually this is a soft, isn't it? So yeah, that's probably why I struggled in practice. Because I don't think I actually used the soft at all. Might have done for 1 lap, but obviously it wasn't that good. But we are immediately back down to 8th place again. You can see Quartararo on pole, Bastianini second, Binder in 3rd place. So very strange to see a KTM qualifying well, but a nice surprise. Although I suppose in the last episode, Jack Miller was pretty competitive, so the KTM seems to be pretty good in qualifying in this game. So then, at the end of qualifying, you can see nothing really changed. Fabio Quartararo is on pole for the Argentinian Grand Prix, and Nea Bastianini on the factory Ducati just behind him in 2nd place, and Brad Binder rounds out the front row in 3rd place. Shout out to Franco Morbidelli as well in 5th place. I'm quite surprised to see him up that high, and it's also nice to see Marquez in the top 4 as well in 4th place there. So watch out for Marquez in the race. He might be pulling some interesting moves since it is Argentina after all. I'm down in 8th place, so I'm actually the 4th Ducati on the grid, so that's not ideal. But we have outqualified the reigning world champion Francesco Bagnaia. Not sure what happened to him really. He's only a 10th off me, to be fair, but I'm not sure what happened to him, why he's so slow. But we have managed to outqualify him. Also, both of the Aprilias and, in fact, 3 Aprilias, to be fair. We've got both the factory Aprilias and Ralph Fernandez on his RNF Aprilia. Now, this is actually going to be a pretty interesting race, I think, because it's Argentina on the GP bikes. It's always fairly interesting. The tyre wear does play a pretty big part in the race, and the AI ride as such, so I think it could be anybody's. It really could be anybody's. It still could be Bagnaia's, even though he's so far down the order, because sometimes you see these massive come through the packs at the end of the race, because sometimes the AI picked the wrong tyre, and it does bite them, and they drop off on the last couple of laps. So I think it'll be a really, really interesting race. So without any further ado, let's get down to the grid and get the race started. I'm honestly not 100% sure which tyre to go with here. I'm thinking maybe a medium on the front and a hard on the rear. Like, that's what I'm leaning towards. Obviously, as you guys know, I never really stray away from medium, but I did actually try the hard tyre in practice and it felt pretty good. So that's actually given me a bit more faith in the hard tyre again, because to be honest, I've not used it since the first race of this career mode all those months ago, just because I had such a bad experience with it. And maybe that wasn't even the tyre's fault, perhaps that was just me in the race, to be fair, if we're being completely brutally honest. But I'm going to go with the medium front because I don't think the hard front will really work, and I also found that if you have a softer tyre on the front, it actually improves the balance of the bike a lot, so the bike's just more rideable, even if it's a bit slower. I prefer that because it means I'm probably less likely to make a mistake, which I have been making quite a few of in the recent episodes. So from 8th place, it could be interesting. If we have a good first lap, we could pick off a few, and then we'll just kind of see where we are, and maybe pick a few AI off at a time if I can try and get away with that, because, like I said, it is an interesting race here at Argentina. They're usually running a bit of a pack at the front, from what I remember from the other games, and then they sort of, some of them start to drop back, and some of them really rocket forward because of the tyre wear. So let's get this race started then, and hopefully we can come through the pack.
Riders have completed the warm-up lap. Fabio Quartararo starts from pole position. Just a few more moments and we'll see the start of the Grand Prix.
So then Fabio on pole position. Bastianini alongside him. Brad Binder rounds out the front row then. The lights are on. Wait for the lights to go here at Argentina. Lights out and away we go. And I must say, it's not been the best start from myself. We're being swamped a little bit as we go down towards turn 1. We've had 2 Aprilias and Bagnaia come past us. We've now got Ralph Fernandez and Miller's trying to go around the outside. So our championship rival, Miller. And we've just been hit a bit by Alex Rins on the inside. Then the other LCR of Nakagami is right behind us. We're getting back past Bagnaia here, so what a disaster for Bagnaia. We've gone straight into the back of Ralph Fernandez. Apologies to Ralph for that one. Has been a crash behind. Alex Rins has sort of hit us at the back there and fell off. We've had an absolutely terrible start. I needed a good one, and we've absolutely not had that at all. But some of the AI here a bit all over the place up this back straight. Look how many wide they're going. This is crazy. They're all trying to muscle onto the racing line. I'm losing so much time with this power mode 1 on this straight, but here we are on the brakes. We've just passed Marc Marquez. Marc Marquez was like 4th place on the grid, so I've no idea what's happening. What is Bagnaia doing? Bagnaia's on the grass. There's so many riders going down. What is this? What a crazy start to the race. I just saw Morbidelli go down there. Bagnaia completely cut that corner, and to be fair, I don't know if he actually caused that incident by doing that. So some dangerous riding there from Bagnaia as we got the inside of a Pramac and Bastianini. I think it must have been Zarco, because Martin is the one in front of us. So we've gone from 8th place backwards and then back up to 6th place because of all the carnage that's going on, and the AI is still attacking me. So this has been a crazy opening lap, and Zarco and Bastianini both go around the outside, so we're 3 wide in that one corner with the Ducatis. And there's another Ducati, Vinales, as well, trying to get past me here. I think I'm going to have to go to Palmo 2 because it's just going to be too dangerous to stick in Palmo 3. We've hit into the side of Vinales, so apologies for that. And now we're being overtaken by even more riders. And we've hit Marquez. And also on the inside of Luca Marini. The AI is so erratic. I just don't know what they're going to do next. That's why I keep having so much content. I mean, I'm surprised we haven't picked up any damage. Bastianini just sort of bashed Zarco out the way there. So we ended up the first lap in 8th place. So we ended where we started. That's actually unbelievable as we go around the outside of Johan Zarco. I was not expecting the race to be like this at all. And we've now got Zarco back up the inside. I did say it was a pack race and it was an interesting one, but I wasn't expecting it to be like this. And we've careered into the side of someone into this corner. So we really need to watch out, need to watch the aggression. And we've now got a Ducati at this side. It's Luca Marini. Oh, that was aggressive from Luca. It must be said, I kind of had to give him that one because there would have been contact otherwise. That probably would have been both of us down. So here we are then, up the inside of Luca Marini. A bit of a dive bomb, but you kind of can do that on the AI into this corner. I don't think he's probably going to come back at me. And what is Bastianini doing on the inside there? So these 3 Ducatis in front, the 2 factory guys and Zarco are all holding each other up. You can see Marini's all on the back of them now. So what a crazy race we've had. Look at the tyre wear already as well. We've actually got a lot of rear tyre wear for saying we're on the hard tyre and it's only lap 2, so we do need to watch out. And again, Bastianini, there's so much contact with AI in front, and Bagnaya's having squeezed out. We've got past Bagnaia, although he's going to try and get back on the power around the outside of us. And then we go back past Pecco, Bagnaia, Bastianini again, sort of bashing. Bastianini's just hitting into everybody. I mean, he hit into Zarco at the end of the last lap as well. Then he had that contact on the inside. He also did the dive bomb on the inside as well earlier on, so Bastianini is looking for a fight in this one. So there we are then. Oh, I've lost the rear. I was going to look at these other Pecco, but that's just not happening with the rear end going like that. But they've all run a bit wide. Can we get the cut back? I've almost high-sided myself. I need to watch out. You can see these guys in front are pulling away fast enough for the race. Jack Miller's in the lead. How did Jack Miller get into the lead? Unbelievable. Jack Miller started miles back. He wasn't even in Q2 and he's leading the race. What a crazy one this has been. And I'll tell you what, I think I might need to just properly start pushing now, even using power mode 2 and 3 just to try and get through the pack a bit, because we're getting towards half race distance and we're still behind these squabbling Ducatis. Because see, Marini's, well, I was about to say Marini's made his way to the front of the group. He's ran wide and Zarco goes back underneath him, but just shows how much time they lose whilst they're battling. And Marini's sort of gone through all of them. And was that Martin on the grass there? Or sorry, Zarco on the grass there? They're really going for it, aren't they? They're not messing about. Here we go then, again up the inside of Bagnaia at the end of the straight. Seems to be pretty much my only overtaking opportunity is at the end of that straight. So we've passed one of the factory boys now. So up into 8th place again. So we're still in 8th place where we started. And now I've just been hit out the way by Bagnaia. And this is with power mode 2. There's such a power advantage. It's unbelievable. I'm sorry that I changed out of power mode 1, guys. But I was just going to keep getting hit up the back everywhere. And I just was going to result in a crash. So I did have to change it. But right now, it doesn't even seem like a bad thing. It seems like we're probably in the right position. I reckon there's going to be some AI start to drop back within the next couple of laps with the tyres. Because the race progression's all sort of manual. I would suggest that Miller may be one of them, because if an AI's come through that quickly, it probably means that they're being simulated on a soft tyre. So he's probably on a soft tyre, I've not actually seen, but his tyre will probably start to go off. So we've got Marc Marquez all over the back of us now. I think he's probably going to try and pass me into this corner here, turn 4, trying to hang it around the outside of him. But they just put you in such a position where you have no choice because they cut the corner. You kind of have no choice but to give in. We use a little bit of power mode 3 here because I want to get him back. I'm not having... Well, we've now got Vinales all over the back of us as we hit the brakes again at the end of the straight. It seems to be literally the only point on the track where I'm quicker than them, and I have messed it up whilst trying to overtake Marquez. We're going to struggle to finish in the top 10 at this rate. Although, again, they could still be... Oh, what is Vinales doing? Come on, that's out of order. That's completely out of order. Let's hit me at the back mid-corner, knocking me out the way. But what I was going to try and say was that AI could still drop back yet with the tyres, but we're in a position where we're not even going to be able to capitalise on that now. I've now got Mir all over the back of me in the same way that I had Marcus on the previous lap. So, to be honest, I think they're just going to overtake me again, and I'm just dropping like a stone. And it doesn't help when I go a bit wide to allow Mir straight through. I've got absolutely no pace at all. I'm really, really surprised. I thought that, like, in the race, maybe I'd be a bit more up there, especially with using power mode 2 rather than 1, but... No, it genuinely seems like I've got no pace compared to these AI. I've got no answer to them. Back up into 11th place, but again, I'm just not going to get stopped. I think now I am starting to suffer with tyre wear. The front tyre is now a bit more worn, which makes the bike very difficult to ride, because there's a massive grip imbalance on this game with the rear and the front. And to be fair, using this medium tyre on the front and the hard on the rear has sort of fixed that, but now that the tyres are going off. It's undone it. We've overtaken Mir again now, though. So we're back up into 11th place, but I'd never thought I'd be fighting this hard for 11th place at Termas. He's still going for it. It's absolutely mugged me off around the outside. What is he doing through that section of the track? We're back at the inside of Jean Mir again. We're going to try to edge him out a bit. We've got back past the 2020 World Champion. But I tell you what, this is a proper dogfight. And we're actually about to the last lap of the race, so it doesn't seem like anyone's going to drop back with the tyres. It's very surprising. 36.8, so I finally got to a decent level in terms of lap time. Finally went to the 36s, and I was battling with Mir the whole lap. And speaking of battling with Mir, here he comes back up the inside again. Nothing I can do. I've got absolutely no answer to these guys. They are just genuinely loads quicker than me. And here we got the inside of Mir. We're going to force him the long way around. We might have this one on this occasion. If we can keep it in behind. Oh, he's on the inside through turn 4. I was going to say if we keep it behind, we could maybe mount an attack on Vinales at the end of the straight, but that's it now. It is just going to be between myself and Mir for P11. We're not getting anything higher than that, which is one hell of a disappointment after the win in the last race. But here we go at the inside. And I couldn't do it. I actually couldn't even overtake him there. He's trying to hold it around the outside. We've now got back in front of him. But he's going to just drive past me here. The level of grip they've got is insane. We're on the inside through turn 6. This is close stuff. With Jean Mir, can we try to go around the outside of him here? Onto the curb. That's going to be risky. We've actually managed to sort of pull it down, but he's probably going to come back up the inside of me here. Yes, he is. Oh, I've picked the bike up a bit for Mir. We're still side by side. I picked up a track limits warning. It's a little bit unfair. We're going to collide. I don't know what he's doing. I'm still there. He was sort of coming over on me a bit, and I was sort of coming towards him, I guess, as well, with the lines naturally. And we've made a mistake through turn 11. That's surely going to allow him through, but we should have it down towards 12. We usually have the advantage there compared to the AI. And here we go. At the inside we go into turn 12. He's on the outside now. I think we might have this one. So I think we've got this 11th place. So on towards the line then, we've got 11th place in this race, but what a disappointment. Well, I must say, I don't think I've ever called a race so wrong in my life. That was not what I expected at all. I thought the AI were going to run out of tyres. I thought it was going to be one of those races, but they were just all out of attack. The whole time I couldn't do anything. I just didn't have the pace. Obviously at the beginning I was sort of trying to hold back a little bit using power mode. Well, I was using power mode 2, that's just a normal power mode. I started using power mode 1 on the first lap, which was perhaps my mistake, but I ended up back in 6th place after all that carnage on the first lap. But then I just dropped backwards. I had absolutely nothing for them. I thought when Marini came through, maybe he'd run out of tyres. I thought Miller might run out of tyres, but no, genuinely, I'm so shocked. I really am. I don't really know what to say. It was a good race, I enjoyed it, but it just did not happen how I thought it would. So then, in the championship, Jack Miller now leads, which I guess makes sense because he has finished second in both races so far. We dropped down to 2nd place, but only 10 points off him, so that's actually not the end of the world. That's pretty good considering how poor our race there was. Jorge Martin rockets up 17 positions up into 3rd position with that race win there, 25 points. And Nea Bastianini drops down to 4th place, although is tied with Martin. Zarco 1 point further back, so all of us Ducatis pretty close there, separated by 6 points. Aleix moves up a few positions to 6th there. Bagnaia loses a couple down into 7th place with 19 points. Quartararo stays in 8th place. Vinales drops down to 9th, and Luca Marini shoots up to 10th place. As for the Teams Championship then, things have changed quite a bit. Prima Pramac move up to 1st place. Red Bull KTM Factory Racing in 2nd place. Ducati Lenovo team in 3rd. Aprilia Racing in 4th. And we move down to 5th place. But only 17 points off. So again, it's so early in the championship and the first couple of races have been so chaotic. Absolutely anything could happen, so you know what, let's not be too worried. We could easily win the next race and put ourselves back up into the lead of both championships. You just never know what's going to happen. As for the Constructors' Championship, Ducati continued to lead with 50 points. Obviously, I didn't win this race, but of course, Martin did on another Ducati, so that keeps Ducati in the lead of that championship. KTM are still second, again with another Jack Miller 2nd place. Aprilia in 3rd place with both the factory guys not doing too badly in this one. Yamaha in 4th and Honda still in 5th place. But with that weekend done now then, we'll head back to the Career Hub and see what we get, because from the team's point of view, it's a pretty good weekend because we got a top 15 in the race, which is all they ask for, and we got on the first 4 rows in qualifying, which again is all they ask for. So from the team point of view, pretty good weekend. From our championship point of view, not great, but we did manage to just fend off Mir at the end, so we did score a couple of points, which could be crucial come Valencia. You never know how close the championship could be, because based on that, it looks like it's going to be pretty close. I was actually just looking at the replay cams, and Bagnaia absolutely did cause the crash with Morbidelli. He hit him. Bagnaia actually took Morbidelli out of the race. That's terrible. That's absolutely awful. I mean, you'd be absolutely fuming if someone did that to you. You cut across the grass and just knocked you off. That's terrible. So then, from that weekend, we gained 5,600 reputation, so not a lot at all, but that takes us up to 248,400. As for the credits, we gained 25,880, which takes us up to 631,128. So then, back here in the Career Hub, and I've changed my mind slightly on the upgrades. I think after that race, we are going to definitely need some, so I'm actually going to put an engine upgrade on. So that upgrade then is going to take 6 weeks to come in, but we could also speed it up if we put more people on it after the other upgrades have come in. I guess we'll have to have a look. But we'll advance forward now to the next race. I think it should just be 1 week. Yes, it is. And there aren't any notifications, so that pretty much brings this episode to a close. So I hope you guys have enjoyed that one. I certainly did. Obviously, we didn't have a very good actual finishing position, but we're still second place in the championship. It's still pretty early on. Now, I am a bit disappointed because that should have been a round where we picked up good points because they're typically quite weak at Termas De Rio Hondo on this game. But I enjoyed it. It was a proper dogfight, lots of contact. I caused quite a few bits of contact on the first lap, so I actually do apologise for that, guys, but honestly, I've not ridden that close quarters with that AI for such a long time. You know, I'm still not really 100% comfortable with the bike, so I do apologise for the little bits of contact I did cause there, but, you know, it's just how it is. It's just one of those things, I suppose. And hopefully in the next race in Austin, it will be another good one, but hopefully our actual end result could be a little bit better. We don't drop like a stone, because I honestly don't really know why. We just seem to have absolutely no pace. It did seem very, very strange. But like I said, I hope you did enjoy that one. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you all stay safe, and I shall see you in the next one.